Внимание! Выстрел! Выстрел!
Russian and Ukrainian troops have been engaged in a battle for the town of Bakhmut since the summer of 2022, which has been the longest fighting since Russian President Vladimir Putin launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February the same year. Russia hopes to secure its first major battlefield victory since the summer of 2022 by capturing Bakhmut. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said that the country's armed forces would be able to advance deep into Ukraine if Bakhmut fell. To date, the Wagner group has been leading the offensive in the area. Its fighters are reportedly gradually being replaced by conventional troops in the city. A video published by the Ukrainian military shows the Ukrainian Armed Forces destroying 3 Russian invaders' armored fighting vehicles, including 2 BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles, which were armed with 130mm cannons and 3 machine guns respectively. The video was recorded by an unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operator found enemy targets and accurately dropped an anti-tank cumulative grenade on them. Meanwhile, Ukrainian troops in a pine forest near Kreminna in the Luhansk region also destroyed invader tanks, which were shelling their positions with direct fire at point-blank range. This was announced by the Telegram channel NADPost by publishing a corresponding video. There is a caption on the video itself: "Cooperation of the NSU 31st Air Intelligence Brigade and the 58th OMB Artillery of the Ukrainian Armed Forces." The battle for Bakhmut heats up again, as the Ukrainian defenders of the devastated city fight off a coordinated 3-pronged assault by Kremlin troops and attempts to stop supplies from reaching them. Despite their defensive posture, Ukrainian forces continue to suffer losses. The battle for Bakhmut had grown into the war's longest and deadliest fighting, with heavy casualties on each side. The Russian invasion, which coupled with Ukraine's martial law preventing men of fighting age from leaving the country, has forced painful decisions for millions of Ukrainian families. Russia said on Saturday that mercenaries in Wagner's group captured 2 districts in the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut, where fighting has raged for months. President Vladimir Putin signed a hastily passed law that would impose harsh new penalties on Russians who evade military summons, adding to fears that the government is planning another mass mobilization as the invasion of Ukraine drags on. Yevgeny Prigozhin, founder of Russia's Wagner Group, said Russia could claim to have fulfilled the objectives of what he called special military operations in Ukraine and focused on defending the territories it had captured. In the Kherson direction, missile and artillery units of the Ukrainian Armed Forces destroyed 10 attackers, a tank, a radio-electronic warfare station, a reconnaissance sabotage group ship, 3 unmanned aerial vehicles and 5 enemy vehicles and armored vehicles. In addition, on one of the islands in the mouth of the Dnieper, field supply points and observation posts of the invaders were destroyed. The press service of the Operations Command South today announced it on its page on the social network Facebook. In turn, the aggressors attacked the Berislav district with guided aerial bombs, which shot down 5 Su-35 fighters. The grain storage building at the agricultural enterprise was destroyed and there were no casualties. As you know, the Russian invaders tried to take Avdiivka near Donetsk. Over the last few months, they had made significant progress in this direction, capturing nearby villages and surrounding the city on 3 sides. However, the aggressor made no significant gains in April. Domestic military expert Deep State explained one of the reasons in an April 14 report. The enemy's Avdiivka shadow is losing speed due to the weather. The enemy's efforts to improve their tactical positions in Pervomaisky, Mariintsov, and near Nevelsky are continuing. Since September 11, 2022, Russia has launched 850 cruise missiles of various types over Ukraine, including the high-precision and long-range caliber T-101 and Iskanders. Russian special forces also lost about 90 to 95% of their soldiers in the war against Ukraine, and it will take up to 10 years to replenish these losses. This was reported by the Washington Post newspaper with reference to classified U.S. documents leaked to the network. Meanwhile, recently, the leader of Russia's private military contractors, the Wagner Group, called for an end to the war in Ukraine. In a blow to Vladimir Putin's efforts, Yevgeny Prigozhin said that the special military operation, as the Russian president called it, had now been completed. In a new article, he said, "For the authorities and society as a whole, today it is necessary to provide some kind of sticking point in a special military operation." The comments come as Britain's Ministry of Defense, MOD, claimed earlier this month that Russia's military leadership was looking to replace private military companies, including the Wagner Group. According to the MOD, the Russian military leadership is looking for a replacement PMC that will have more leverage. Nonetheless, no other Russian PMC comes close to the Wagner Group in terms of size or combat power. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported on April 17 that Russia had lost 182,660 troops in Ukraine since the start of its full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes the 590 casualties suffered by Russian forces over the past few days. Russia carried out 56 attacks on 16 settlements in the Zaporizhzhia Oblast over the past 24 hours. Governor Yuri Malashko reported. This included 46 artillery strikes, 4 airstrikes, 4 drone strikes, and 2 attacks with multiple launch rocket systems. Russian troops also shelled the border of Chernihiv Oblast. 6 explosions were recorded between 6:45 and 7:15 near the village of Karpovichi. The Northern Operations Command reported. Russian forces likely fired 120 mm mortars. The founder of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, said Russia could easily declare victory if it ended its more than year-long invasion of Ukraine today, arguing that its forces had captured a big chunk of territory. The ideal scenario is to announce an end to the special military operation and inform everyone that Russia has achieved the planned results, he said in an article published by his press service and on Telegram. The thing to do now, he wrote, was stick to the territory we've acquired.